Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Offworld Trading Company. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $30. That includes a couple of items, the core game, the Almanac DLC, the Jupiter's Forge expansion pack, and then there's the Ultimate Edition, which you can currently buy for about $70 right now, but it's 30% off. So that would make it around 90, 95-ish, roughly. And that includes, I think, there's like 13 DLC in all. So there's a lot of different ways to play this game. So Offworld Trading Company can be played in skirmish, campaign, daily challenges, infinite map mode. There's also these scenarios that you can play, but again, some of the stuff that you're seeing here is part of the DLCs that I was talking about earlier. I received the press copies for all of this stuff way back when, as they were released. The core game was actually released in 2016. The primary goal of this game, really, it's a real-time strategy game, but you have to make money, and you have to buy out your competitors. So if you like real-time strategy games, but you want something purely economical with very little in the way of combat, then this is the game for you. There's a lot of different ways to set up your game. There's a lot of different difficulty modes. There are different locations, and again, some of these things can only be accessed via the DLC packs, like the IO map, for example, or series map, and so on. You can set the game rules, even game speed, resources, different colony classes. You can even disable sabotage, which is the only combat in this game. You can pay to sabotage your opponents in various ways, pirates and bombs, that kind of thing. But you can turn that off, which is great. You can also turn off auctions rather. You can set up advanced sabotage, random events. You can set things to just stock victory. You can include all headquarters. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways to set up this game. Highly recommend, though, that you play on the easiest difficulty possible. It'll default you to employee. Definitely set it on the easiest one, because this game can be a bit overwhelming at times. Instead of doing a one-off skirmish, you can instead go into a campaign. And the campaign is similar, but you're going to pick one CEO, and they each have different abilities. And you're going to play like a series of missions. And your AI opponents will also be playing against you. Some will play against you on the first match. Some will play against you in the second match. And as I remember correctly, your competitors, or even you, may be eliminated depending on your stock price. So like, you're picking a CEO and you're trying to be the last one standing by being the most successful in the missions that you're doing. So you might, like, the map might be, or the campaign might be, a series of 7 missions, some of which you'll be involved in, some of which your AI will only be involved in. So you're not going to play every single day out of the 7 days. Rather, you are going to play a couple of them, and the AI will sort of eliminate themselves too while they're at it. You can even hire and upgrade staff. You can hire them on a contract basis, or you can hire them permanently. Contract is just for that mission only. Hire is for the rest of the campaign. So there are some decisions to be made with what to do with your money in between your campaign missions. I really like that. And you also have to keep in mind that playing the campaign, you are limited with your buildings. You just can't build whatever you want. You kind of have to go into missions with a plan in mind, because your building options are going to be super limited. But typically you're going to pick one of 3 locations, and you're going to just play and try and outbeat your opponent. When you actually get into the game, you're going to set your HQ down somewhere. Typically that involves scanning the map in a turn-based fashion. And if you're lucky enough to scan well and reveal a bunch of resources quickly, you can set your HQ down and sort of claim that real estate, and then have at it. And your opponents will also be doing the same thing at the same time, just again in a turn-based fashion. On the left side of the screen, On the upper left, you'll see how much money you have and how much debt you have. Below that is a list of all the different resources in the game. Electricity, there's like solar and wind and geothermal. And whether or not you're producing or consuming will all depend on whether or not you make money. Each commodity has like a price. There's water, food, oxygen, fuel, steel, carbon, some other things, silicon, glass, electronics. Some of these you'll find on the map. They're represented by little like shapes on the map, and they'll be stacked 1, 2, or 3 high. The higher stacks mean that you get more resources out of them, and there's even adjacency bonuses. So by putting buildings together, they produce more and they're more efficient. And then there's a price for each commodity too, and the market is ever changing. So if you and your competitors are like selling a crap ton of water, it's just the market is going to be like really super cheap. Like it's going to be flooded with water. Whereas if your opponents are always short on water and constantly buying it, then the price of water is going to go up. And then you can capitalize on that by just making water, concentrating on that, and making a ton of money that way. There are also other ways to upgrade your I don't want to call it civilization, but your CEO in your company. You can put down like patent labs, and you can put down other resource buildings that will like allow you to improve, like flat upgrades, like this resource will be improved by 15%, or like the collection of this resource will be improved by so many percent. And you have to pay, again, like glass or chemicals, some kind of resource. Again, some of these resources are raw on the map. Others you have to put like manufactory buildings down, use these raw resources to make the final products. Typically the resources on the bottom left of the tree there are like the finished products, and the raw stuff is like upper middle. Power is just, you'll never have, there's no battery unless you get an upgrade. Typically you either are producing enough power and you're auto selling it, or you're not getting enough power and you're auto buying it. On the right side of the screen, upper right, is like your stock stuff. The better your company is doing, the better the price, and your goal is to buy shares of your competitors so that you can buy them out and be the last one standing. From time to time, auctions will pop up. If you have them disabled, they won't, but they typically involve claims or, buying this type of black market thing. On the bottom right is the black market. This is the sabotage part. You can either buy claims, or you can do pirates and starve your opponents of resources. You can protect yourself with a goon squad. But these claims I was talking about, you can only construct so many buildings per HQ level. So like on HQ level 1, you can build like 5 or 6 buildings, and then you have to upgrade to level 2, HQ level 2, in order to get more claim tiles. So you just can't go build happy. You have to make use of a limited build claim structure and really capitalize on the good stuff. But yeah, that in essence is the game. It is a bit repetitive, but it's still a lot of fun. Even though the game was released back in 2016, I still come back to this game every now and again because I like the economical side of this. I like looking on the left and going, okay, water's really high. I better produce a bunch of it and try and sell it that way. I try to be positive in every single resource so I don't have to auto buy anything, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Competitors can fluctuate the market. Even you can fluctuate the market to make something more valuable or less valuable with particular buildings. You can even build this off-world shipping thing where you'll launch rockets into the air and make a crap ton of money on particular commodities. The prices for those are different. The off-world trading stuff is different. The price is different than trading locally. So all of that is cool. I will say it's a bit overwhelming at first. Once you get used to it, you're pretty much playing the game almost the same way. The only thing changing is the map and the resources. But there's a lot here. I highly recommend checking out, especially on a sale. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.